Hello, Wanderers. Welcome back to the channel. It's Dave, the Tabletop Wanderer here, and I hope you are all doing well over these little holiday break at the end of the year. Yeah, 2025 is coming to an end, and I know I did a review video a couple of days ago, and I said I wasn't going to buy anything in 2026, but it is still not 2026, so I did buy something. Yeah, so I'm getting all the buying of games done right now before 2026 rolls around. But yeah, first off, we're going to do a little quick look of a couple of things that came my way, which I really am excited to show you all about. First off, let's go right here. Oh, as you can see, I'm on the computer today because, these are PDFs and they're way easier to work out and do stuff here on the PDFs. So, first off, without further ado, we've got Cinematic Space by John Fredericks from Sharp Mountain Games. John was kind enough to send me a copy so I could look through it, and yeah, this is a rules light game where you could do a sort of a space opera thing with it's very fast playing, like most of John's games. Looking at Streamlined Superheroes and Sharp Mountain Solo, and this is just for a more cinematic feel of a game, which I do really enjoy. If you've seen my Shadow of Alnor Season 2, you can see that I went more for a cinematic approach of the game and not too much of the, roll and do all that math and crunch and stuff like that. But yeah, so he went ahead and he did a Cinematic Space by John Fredericks. Okay, so you get your introduction. He shows you all the roles and the abbreviations, the advantage, the disadvantage. He shows you a bit of the character, so you can see how it goes. And then a combat example, you get into character creation, and here it is. Character creation, you choose a profession, okay? So you can be one of these: command officer, communications officer, doctor, engineer, helms officer, science officer, security officer. This will be pretty good for like a group play where like you have 4 or 5 people and each of them take one role, which does come into play with the starships. Okay, and then you get your Star Explorer species. You can be any one of these: human, Elvarian, elf-like, Catorian, cats, Tropazians. They have 3 arms and 3 legs. Robot or android, and a Valkyrok, which is a warrior race, sort of a Klingon sort of thing. And then you got your far away species and their roles: a Harbrute, a hairy humanoid, Lobstron, the amphibious, the gambler, the noble, the scoundrel, and the untrained space knight. And so you go ahead, you choose one of these roles or species, and you go through all of that stuff. The doctor has some special things to it. Psionics, you can use psionics if your character has psionics. And it also shows you how you can convert to other genres. So if you want to do sort of a fantasy role-playing sort of thing, you can use this. Even though it is sci-fi, you can convert it pretty easily to fantasy. Your characters shows you how to get your characters all up and running: helm officer, science officer, the faraway species. The rules then. So for most roles, you roll. Is this under or over? I'm really bad at math. Okay, so I know roll to keep the better roll. So it should be roll over. Correct me if I'm wrong. This sign right here, I've never been really good knowing which is which. Okay, so like I'm a musician. Okay, math is pretty for musicians. Math is pretty simple. It's basically everything divided by two. Um, he shows you how to do combat. So for initiative, or here he says determining combat order. 1 to 3 the PCs go first, 4, 5, 6 the NPCs that go first, and then you do your actions. You can attack, you can move, you perform a non-combat action, distract an opponent, so on and so forth. You have your armor right here, special combat rolls, reaching up, reaching 0. What's that? Is reaching 0 stun and reaching 0 lethal. So you get two sort of damages where you can just stun a character or he can immediately die. Healing, and then we go into starship combat, which is a really fun thing. Your depending on your starship, that also gives you your starship's weapons. So a small ship laser is a 1d6, a laser banks a 2d6, quantum torpedoes 3d6, and a final shot with a quantum torpedo destroys the target vessel. Okay, the helm, sorry. Helm roll to evade, combat to fire, and science engineering to scan. So you could do sort of a lot of things. Okay, let's scan to see if there's any enemies in the vicinity. Yes, okay, let's see. Let's go in with fire. Oh, we missed. They're gonna fire at us, so we use the helm to evade. And in combat, this is a really good good system. Like John's other stuff, I really did enjoy Streamlined Superheroes. That was a lot of fun. Heavy Cruise and as you can see, this has all been. It's not too streamlined. It's not as streamlined as Superheroes, but yeah, it is fairly simple to get into. Creatures and opponents. He gives you some creatures here, sort of a small little bestiary. And so on and so forth. And then, of course, as always, John throws out a little adventure where you can start to use this and see how it plays out. Okay. And yeah, that is, in a nutshell, that is cinematic space. Let me just pull this up. Cinematic space. Great for both group and solo play. I will probably do a solo play with this. Well, I will, but I don't know if I'll bring it to the channel. Like most of you have probably already heard and from my other videos, the sci-fi stuff doesn't connect to me. It's not connecting. I do enjoy watching John Mage Hammers and Solar Spelunking stuff, and also Virtual Muse. They're all mainly, well, Virtual Muse does a bit of everything, and so does, well, they all do a bit, but like Solar Spelunking focuses more on sci-fi, and I really do enjoy watching his videos, his adventures. However, for me, I don't know. I tried to do that cat and dog thing, and it just didn't click with me. So yeah, it is what it is. The next thing I want to show you guys is a little document that came from. Let me just grab this up. Okay, you're going to start hearing Opera GX starting to come up because I was another and I didn't get this all prepared beforehand. So bear with me. Just have to go in here and grab this right here. So a couple of weeks ago, a viewer reached out to me and said, "Oh, look, I'm doing this document, game journal. Would you like to take a look at it?" And I said, yes. So F. Bico, who we've been talking a bit on Instagram. So yeah, you can go and join me on, follow me on Instagram also. We've been back and forth talking, and he sent me this little journal of his. I've had a look at it, and it is quite interesting. and he asked me to be totally like transparent and say what I think. Okay, so here it goes. I do like it, and I will be using it. I've already got one part of this. Like I've already got a whole set. These are 10 pages. I've got them all printed out already. They're on the side, and so let's just go through it. So you get a hex grid here for the world map with a little key down here where you can roll and see what you get on each of the hexes. Then you get your community map, which is for you to do your towns and cities and stuff like that. And another table down here, roll a d8 and see what you get. You get a tavern list where you can get all the taverns, and I'm assuming there's a lot of taverns in this town. Well, that also depends on what you get here, right? You get a shop list, so you can put down all the shops also. An inn list for the inns, NPC data, session notes. I'm still got the Christmas thing, juices flowing through my bloodstream. Session notes, so you could write down what happened, what went well, what went not so well, and some additional notes. You got a quest tracker, battle notes, where you can write up how many creatures there were, which creatures, their AP, their AC, and all that. And then you get a couple of tables here for creating the maps, okay? So your terrain, desert, Arctic, grassland, and then the new hex and the hex danger level right here. Yeah, I found this quite interesting. I have, like I said, I've printed this out. It's right there on the side. And for me, Biko, I think there's only one thing missing, but I do understand why you didn't put it in. And that would be a little, how should I say, a little page of not only NPC data, but your PCs, like your party, have just a generic sort of thing for the parties, for your characters. That would be also pretty good. I know that, depending on what game system you're going to be using, and that's probably why you didn't put it in. But, just something, a little generic sort of thing for 4 characters or 6 characters or whatever. I'd do 4 probably. And that way you can have sort of a quick look at your characters from the game that you have or that you're running. That's the only gripe I have with this. I know there are a lot of other journals out there, but this one's pretty streamlined, pretty clean. I like it, and I will be using it. So, yeah. Biko, whenever you get this out, ready to send out into the ether, into the world, into the internet, let me know, and I'll throw up a link so people can go and get it from your, I don't know where, itch.io or whatever. Okay, pretty good, pretty little document here, right here. Tavern list. I like the tavern list, the shop list, the inn list. For me, the only thing that's missing is just a little generic party character sheet also, and that would be icing on the cake. Yeah, and that is the game journal from F Biko. Okay, thank you, F Biko, for letting me take a quick look at this. And last but not least, in this little quick look, which is already going on to about 15 minutes, is the big one. Yes, I have got this. I got this. This was my late Christmas present. 4 Against Darkness, the expanded edition. I have done quite a few playthroughs of 4 Against Darkness here on the channel, and actually I went like the good little nub that I am. I went to Lulu and I bought this, thinking that this was the paperback version or the hard copy or whatever, the hardcover, and okay, I forked out the money for it, and I said, well, okay, when's the book coming? Apparently, it was just the PDF. So yeah. I'll try and get it sometime during the next year, depending on the finances, because it is, there's 214 pages on this. So the book is, even paperback, the paperback version is something like €13 or something like that. I'll have to see. But, I've got this on the PDF, so yeah, let's do a quick look. So, For Against Darkness, this is basically the core rule book, but with a lot more stuff in it. And from what I read, I've nearly finished reading this because I have also been reading Outgun and the assistant director for Outgun for the new campaign that I'm working on. So I haven't finished reading this expanded edition of For Against Darkness. But what I can see is that you get a lot more, how should I say, characters. Yeah. So the core rulebook, you had, what was it, barbarian, priest, halfling, dwarf, elf, something like that. And here you get a lot more. So Andrea, he went and got a lot of the other characters from all the other supplements and threw them all in here, so you get like a 2-in-1 or 3-in-1 or 4-in-1 or whatever it is in this book. So you can use the acrobat, which also gives you some new stuff with their abilities. You have a trait table which will make your acrobat or your character very, very personal. In the core book, a barbarian was a barbarian and that's it. But here, now with this new trait system, well, I think it's new. I don't know if this trait system has come out from a different supplement, because I don't have that many supplements for Against Darkness. I'm guessing, yes, this was in some other supplement and he just imported it into here. But for me, this is new, the trait system. And so, it makes your character completely different, because barbarian, for example, in the core rulebook, it's just this and that's it. But with your barbarian traits, you can now pick one or roll a d6 and get, like, let's see, a beast slayer. You have +1 to attack rolls versus weird monsters, and that'll be different. You'd probably be different from a different barbarian in your group who had tough skin, stuff like that. And you get a whole new bunch of classes: bulwark, cleric, some interesting ones really. But he says in the beginning of the book to, if you're new to the game, just use the core rule book characters. So the first 5, I think it was. This gnome character looks very, very interesting. Illusionist is also pretty cool. A Kukla, which is like a doll, something like really weird. It has a lot of stuff to her. A light gladiator, mushroom monk. Yeah, okay, whatever. The paladin, a ranger, a rogue, swashbuckler, and the warrior and wizard. And it goes on to talk about the what is it? The spell system. I got my brain froze. goes on about talking about the spell system, basic spell, druid spells, illusionist spells, scrolls, and then your saving throws and stuff like that, fighting in darkness, marching order, effective fail, loot, carrying loot, masterwork weapons, so on and so forth. There is a lot of new stuff in here. Like I said, I haven't read all of it, and just glancing over here on the index, we can see dungeon vermin. Okay, that's for your dungeon. This here will be for your characters, your fungal grottos, fiendish foes from that supplement. I do have fiendish foes, and so you can roll all this. Rules, not rules. Reject no balance. Give hints, exceptions. The 4 pillars of adventure writing. The campaign. And yeah, the roadmap, where do I go from here? And the play sheet. So yeah, creating your own adventures. Where is that? Oh, right down here. The most important GM duties to provide inland missions for the PC. Okay. So yeah, I have to finish reading this. But from what I've read, yeah, this looks very, very good. Well, 4 Against Harkness is already a really good game, and this just expands on it and makes it even better, and you don't need to go and get a bunch of the other supplements because it's all in here right now. So yeah, you can go and get this PDF on Lulu, and I think the hardback and the paperback version are already on Amazon. Yeah, and that's I'm going to call it quits right here, and that's the end of this video. And let me just say thank you all for watching. I do really appreciate it, and it has been an awesome year, way better than I could ever think, and I just want to say thank you all, and I hope 2026 will bring you all that you wished for, and especially health, because that's the main thing that we need, right? And I want to give a big shout out to my members: Jamie, Chad Magehammer, Grognard Solo Gaming, Mini Warmutt, and T Fliprex. Thank you all for giving me a little bit of your hard-earned cash. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you all on the next one. Have a great one. Bye-bye.